Hello, everyone out there in Facebook land, G Plus land, YouTube land, and whatever land you're in. My name is Bella Vasta. I'm here from Jump Consulting, and I'm delighted to bring you Mark Siebel from Doggy Steps Dog Training in Chandler, Arizona. How are you, Mark?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing great. Happy Friday.
Wonderful. Mark is a local dog trainer here who, interestingly enough, I'm going to tell him this story, Mark. I called you up when I first met you, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Let's go out for coffee. I'd like to get to know you and network with you. And you're like, everything you need to know is on my website because we get hit with so many of them. But that kind of like in-your-face attitude, I think, is what has allowed us to have a great working relationship over the years.
I agree.
And just before we were even getting on this hangout, I was telling you that I have this nice little dog repeller. You
Yep.
click it, and it does that high-pitched noise for when Rocco likes to tell me when anyone walks by the house. And
Perfect.
you told me to do what now?
Simply get a can, put some pennies in it, put tape on top of the can, shake it, just if your dog's doing something you don't want him to do. So it
That's
creates
great.
a,
Cool home remedy.
there you go.
I'm sure all the pet sitters that are watching knew it, but if you're not a pet sitter, hey, you just got some free advice. Anyways, everyone, we're here today because Mark has been kicking butt. And I keep getting these emails from him with all these updates like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's working. It worked and all this stuff. And it all has to do around with that four-letter word, blog.
Yep.
So today we're going to find out where Mark was, what he did, and what the results have been. And hopefully it'll give you a little bit of motivation or inspiration, which is my job to you, to help show you an actual real-life example. Now, Mark, obviously, Mark is a dog trainer, so, I mean, blogging works in every single field. You don't
Yep.
have to just be a pet sitter. But Mark, why don't you start us off and explain to us who are you, what's your business, what's the website so people can kind of check us out while they're listening, and on average, how many like hits a day were you getting on your website before you started this whole blogging thing?
All right, real quick, my background, my name is Mark. I've lived in Chandler, Arizona 12 years. I've known Bella, what is it now, 5, 6 years? Around there. Definitely her nickname is Pitbull. When it comes to
For you.
marketing, there's no one better in town in Phoenix than Bella. So definitely I would recommend Questions Services. She's definitely the go-to. I've been a dog trainer 8 years. I've had a website for 8 years. Even though my business has progressively grown every year, what I started to notice the last 2 years was more spikes and dips compared to more progressive annual growth. So just like any business owner, I had to come to realize over half of my business from the internet. The other half comes from referrals, truck signs, random people hearing about your company. I don't know about you guys, but I've never found a good SEO individual to work with. I've never found a good web designer. So for many years, I did minimal work and upgrades to my website. What happens is Google goes through, and Bella knows more about this than me, but Google will go through websites. I'm not sure if it's monthly or quarterly. If they see that you're not doing much to your website, they don't look at you as being an active professional. They're not going to give you as much love on the organic search engines. I went to meet with Bella to answer her earlier question. I was probably getting 2 to 3 hits a week just from people finding my site on Yelp, Angie's List, and the internet, or Google. I went to meet with Abella, and definitely from her past and her results, I just kind of said, show me what I have to do. So she definitely hooked me up with, I forget his name, but she can let you guys know.
Marcus Sheridan, the sales lion. So
Yes.
let's back up a little bit because I want to take people down this journey path. So you were getting 2 to 3 hits a week on your website. That's it?
Yeah, maybe 2 to 5.
I didn't even know it was that low. Oh my goodness.
So it was
And
low.
but before we worked together, you were blogging like randomly, weren't you?
Once every 2 months.
Yeah, and it was just kind of whatever tickled your fancy, and you threw it up there, and the titles were very nonchalant, non-Google
Yep.
happy. It was like, hey, I picked my nose today. It was like, so what?
It's kind of like eating healthy only once a week.
That's a great analogy. That's really, really great. But
Yep.
so you're only getting a few hits a day on the web or a week on the website, and
That was it.
you're not really that effective with blogging. So what was that tipping point for you? Because everyone has their own tipping point. A lot of people know about blogging, like eating healthy. I know I should eat healthy, but McDonald's just sounds so good. What made you like actually start doing it? What was the tipping point?
I think it got to the point where I wanted to see more of this and less of this. So I said, I've got nothing to lose. So after meeting with Bella, I think it was last October,
Yeah,
last fall,
yeah.
2013, within 3 months, my inquiries at least tripled. At
That's
least
incredible.
this year, 2014, is a record quarter.
That's amazing. I mean, you've been open for 8 years, and you're doing the same thing except for blogging, and now all of a sudden it's increasing. So with
Yep.
having more inquiries, how does that change your business or how you do business? What kind of fruit does that afford you?
It makes me want to hire more people because I haven't worked this hard in 8 years.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And I imagine that it gives you the opportunity to kind of pick and choose who and where you want to work, right? Because, I mean, you cover the whole valley right now. And I
Yep.
would imagine that having more opportunities, you can really hone in on certain things. You don't have to be everything to everyone or take on every single kind of case that you want.
It's a benefit, plus it allows me to raise my prices because I've got more demand.
Sure. Supply and demand. I'm always talking about that. So, okay, so your inquiries tripled. What happened with your website hits? I'm sure you weren't getting just 5 a week anymore.
Those definitely doubled and tripled because everyone, whether it's Google Plus, where I post my twice a week blogs, or Facebook through network blogs, they
Uh-huh.
go, they always click and go to my website blog, and then they go to other pages, whatever their need for dog training is.
That's incredible. And you know that they go to other pages, I imagine, because you take a look at your Google Analytics, right?
Not as much as I should, but yes, I know it's just not blogs that they're going to. Uh,
Right.
Once they get on your site, that's when they're going to start to, certainly research more and find all the services that you offer.
Right. Was it hard for you to get into it or change that mindset? Or um, let me back up, actually. I know before we worked together, I said, okay, listen, I want you to go and read Marcus Sheridan's The Sales Lion book before I help you at all.
Okay?
And
Yep.
you were like, come on, do I really have to read it? And I was like, yeah. And you started reading it, and you were so on fire by it that you
Yep.
were emailing me like, oh my gosh, I'm on page 32. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, page 56 just changed my world. And you, it was so awesome to watch that. So you kind of got the bigger picture, and it broke free all the barriers that your mind might have had on the topic of blogging. And then I
Yep.
was able to actually go and try to help you dig that ditch and show you how to build your house, right?
Yep, exactly. And just like anything, it's not instant gratification.
Sure.
Marcus says it takes a year to get a lot of people, starting to read blogs and increase business. For me, it took about 5 months. So
Yeah.
do not get discouraged. Just like anything, you have to put in the time to get the result. But now, less than a year later, I'm at a point, just like Bella and I discussed, I'm more selective on pricing who I want to work with because I have such an increase of demand.
Right, right. And the website that we're talking about, you all can go and download his free ebook. It's absolutely amazing. Marcus is a great guy. It's thesaleslion.com. Right there in the middle of the front page of the website, it says download my ebook here. And you can go ahead and download it, and don't be overwhelmed by it. It is, what, 200 or 300 pages, but just read it a little bit as you're doing pet sits or as you're winding down for the night, whatever it might be. I found it helpful to put it on my phone, and so every time I was waiting for something, I just kind of pull it up and read through another one. It's just a compilation of all of his blogs, and it's great. Where there's a will, there's a way. It's not like you have to sit down and read it from book end to book end. So was it hard for you, Mark? Was it hard for you to make that transition, or once you kind of got the ball rolling, I saw you just develop. You started seeing the world through this different lens, and you're like, shoot, people ask me questions all day long. I might as well just start answering them. And I would share your stuff without even reading it because the titles became so captivating and valuable to people that you just wanted to kind of get it out there. So tell me about that. Like, how did your mindset switch from, hey guys, I'm picking my nose, so to speak, to how to train your puppy to not, I don't know, whatever it might be?
Yep, well, I think kind of like Bella said, you guys in the pet sitting business, you're out there every day thinking about taking care of customers' pets, different things to provide better service. So what Marcus basically says is write down the questions your customers ask you. That becomes a blog title. Now also, if I could say, I think we're all in this business, number one, to give great service and take care of the pets. Number two, money is icing on the cake. So do not get me wrong, I've talked a lot about my business and my leads, definitely increasing, but certainly just like Bella teaches, we have a lot of knowledge which ultimately becomes value to your customer when they read your blogs. So don't get confused, you want to have both of those mindsets where yes, your business will raise, but also you want to be viewed as the teacher and the expert. Just like Bella in the valley, she knows so much about pet sitting, she's the number one go-to just for her knowledge.
I love what you said about being an expert, because these people get on your website because they have a problem and you have a solution. Maybe their friend shared it, or I love how you're always holding dogs even if they're 50 pounds and you're doing the selfies of you with the dog, because people like it, people share it, they end up on your website. And once they're reading from you and they're like, wow, this is really good information, this guy knows what he's talking about. And not only that, he's taking the time to put out this free information. I think I trust him. I think I might call him. I think I might fill out the contact form. So what you're doing is you're just building trust with the community, the virtual and local community. And I think it's great. It's you've provided lots of blog articles for me and my business. I suggest every pet sitter teams up with a dog trainer because they're, there's so many common questions. How do I get my dog to stop jumping on the couch when I'm gone? How do I get my dog to stop barking? Just like I started off this thing with, hey, I have this dog repeller that has a high-pitched noise but not really doing much. What else should I do, Mark? Hey, get some coins in a jar. That's a great blog for you to write today. So I'm so proud of you for finally taking the bull by its horns and then seeing the fruit of it. It's so exciting, and it just took 2 sessions. I mean, we sat down face to face and created like a whole bunch of ideas that you could do, and I showed you what good titles versus bad titles were and some helpful plugins to put in, and you did the rest, my friend. You did it all, and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
I would recommend you guys definitely consider Bella, whether it's face-to-face or one of her video consults, but you're certainly going to see huge results, not only with your business, but just becoming a better teacher on your subject matter.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about blogging?
I'd probably just say don't get discouraged, and there's times where you might not be able to do it twice a week. But if you kind of lose the momentum, at least keep your titles. When it comes back, that's when you write everything. and Bella will tell you how to set automatic feeds, so then it goes out automatically. But if you lose some of the creativity, at least keep your titles.
Right, right. And the scheduling is a really great point. I mean, we all aren't creative every single day, or feeling
Yep.
like writing every single day. So sometimes you might get a wave and catch that wave and write them down, even if they're drafts. And then
Yep.
you can very easily schedule them to come out once a week for the next 4 weeks. And then you get even more, and you could say, okay, let's do twice a week for the next 4 weeks. And
Yep.
what Mark was saying at the beginning is very true. Google looks at the websites that are adding new content because that's the name of the game. They want to see that you're putting out good content. They want to know, people are going to be typing in who are the best dog trainers in Phoenix, who are the best pet sitters, what's the average cost for pet sitters or dog trainers or veterinarians, who's the best veterinarian. People are looking towards Google. That's who they trust. Think about the last time you Googled something. You had a something on your right elbow. Hey, what's this blue spot on my right elbow? I mean, you put it into Google to see what everyone else thought, and you're looking for an expert to tell you. So get out there, because it's just a matter of time before someone else does. And if you need help, I'd love to help you. Mark is a true testimony here in the flesh. You can check out his blogs at doggystepsdogtraining.com, and
That's
you
it.
can jump on his Facebook page that way as well. And I'm sure Mark would love to guest blog for any of you too, right, Mark?
Happy to help. Send me a contact. I am happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Mark.
Thank
Really
you,
enjoyed
everybody.
getting to
Best of
talk to
luck.
you, and thank you.
Have a great holiday weekend.
All right.
Bye-bye.